So hello everybody and welcome to a scene for New Serum as we're joined again with Judy, and she is fully back and healed as she sits on the swings by Washington Square Park smoking a cigarette. As she inhales the cigarette through her nose, she receives a text message. And she smiles when she sees the number as when it says, so this is 2D, right? Not spelled in the way that normally 2D does. It's spelled with an extra couple of O's and a D. It's awkward. It's very awkward. But Trudy will smile to herself and will just send back a message saying that yes, this is her, and say that it's 2D, so a 2 and a D as well. So it's 2D. Um, and she will just click the ring button on the phone and put it up to her ear. She just lets out an exhale of breath.
And, Renee is now nice and safe and home, hanging out with Panacea. He is the cure to what ails her. Bless his little fluffy heart. So, with her cat wreathing around her ankles and whatnot, she'll see the confirm text back and kind of tilt her head a bit at the spelling, quote. It looks more like a handle, but okay, whatever. And she'll shrug and go ahead and set the phone down. And, as she bends down to pet the cat, it starts ringing and startles the ever-loving crap out of her. She kind of gives a jump. Panacea goes, like, scampering out from under her feet because he knows that feet are the most dangerous thing. And she kind of blinks a few times and picks up the phone and kind of glances at it. And she still has it spelled wrong in there, but there it is. That crazy chick was calling her. Everyone was crazy, though. She can't even judge. And she waffles for a good couple rings, just kind of holding the phone. And finally, as it's probably about to have the shift to voicemail, she impulsively flicks the slider, puts the ear up to her phone. Hey!
Hi.
Is something wrong, or?
It's easier to talk over the phone sometimes.
I wouldn't it. Okay.
Did you get home okay?
Yeah, I'm home. There'll be like the faint sound of a bell jingling in the background as the cat is now back to demandingly wreathing around her legs.
Good. I was wondering. There's a park. It's called Washington Square Park. Up by the Crow. If you want to meet me there, we can talk properly.
Is there some big talk I missed or something?
No, it's just easier to talk face to face.
Ah. Okay. There's obviously like a pause.
It's nothing bad. I just want to get to know you better.
Yeah.
And it's quiet. It's nice out here. And it's by the swings.
Is that weird thing gonna happen again?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'll head over.
I'll be by the swings.
Okay.
You hear click. Beep, beep.
And yeah, it just, hangs up on her end and she looks down at the cat. Why did I say yes? And she'll lean down and pet the cat for a minute just to kind of get her courage up. And of course, he is the most wonderful thing. So she scoops him up and pets on him and nuzzles into his fur for a minute, and then finally puts him back down, lets him scamper off. In fact, we'll probably go and feed him, and then look to the door, look at her phone, look to the door. Well, I guess I'll be back. You don't care. You have canned food. Okay. Well, you enjoy that, I guess. Fuck. And yeah, she'll head out the door, grab her keys, go ahead and take herself a nice little drive over to this park in the middle of the night by a swing set, which doesn't sound even remotely sketch at all.
So yeah, you come to Washington Square Park. It's a fairly big place. You take your time wandering through there, and you'll see the aforementioned swing set. You'll see Daniel sitting on the swings, cigarette smoke, literally, like a fucking cloud coming out over there.
And yeah, she meanders up, hands stuffed in her pockets. And we'll just kind of sit herself in the next swing over. And kind of tilt forward, glancing over. Does that still do anything?
No, it's just routine.
Oh.
Some of us can drink and eat like normal. It's just, I smoked a lot when I was human, so.
It doesn't, like, make you nauseous or anything?
No, I think it's probably the memory of the taste of nicotine.
Oh. Well, I guess it doesn't hurt you or anything anymore, so.
It's little things that just make me feel normal some days.
Yeah, I guess.
Just smile over at her. So I'm guessing you're fairly new from what the way you looked when Daisy threw you headlong in.
Yeah. Like right before winter break. I had to call my folks and make up an excuse to not go home. I'm not sure how that's gonna pan out in the grand scale. She says, kind of like zoning out a little, like, ugh.
You do it over long term. That's what I had to do. Days become weeks, weeks become months. You just say you're busy. Busy, 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 busy.
And it works most of the time, I guess.
Yeah, just new job. Can't really get much out. And you can keep in contact maybe through email and text and all that sort of stuff, but just eventually just slowly fade away.
And she starts to kind of put out a protest and pauses and suddenly gets very introspective, very thoughtful. I guess we don't really age anymore. And yeah, okay, I can see why you'd fade out.
Exactly. Just smile.
What does that mean for work, though? Just like
Sometimes you
switch
have to change.
jobs every 10 years?
Sometimes you have to change jobs every once in a while. Or you work through people. Sometimes some of us, we give our blood to people. They're what they call ghouls. And they are like our assistants.
Oh, really?
Like, sometimes, yes.
I don't really think you can nurse secondhand.
You get yourself into a position where you can nurse secondhand, if you get what I'm saying.
I mean, at that point, it's not really nursing anymore, is it?
No, not really.
How How's your doctor friend do it?
Dr. Theodore Delarose does it because he hires people to. He's a very experienced surgeon now, so he only appears on selective surgeries.
Oh.
You see, you fade out gradually, but you take your time building up your walls, so when you do fade out, nobody bats an eyelid.
That sucks.
It doesn't, it doesn't.
I mean, it's not like I have a lot of people to pull away from, but I mean, you kind of accept that you're going to see your parents die someday.
Each time you pull away gets easier. The first time is always the hardest.
I don't even know what to say to that.
You don't have to say anything. You're new. You gotta take it one step at a time.
Kind of just pick up my life plan and throw it out a window.
It can definitely feel like that, yes. She'll give a smile as she puts the cigarette out.
She kind of pauses and finally turns a side glance. So, how old are you, like, really?
36 now?
Not that far,
I
I guess.
mean, I'm still young, but you stop counting after a while. Some of us are really old, some of us are very young. It's all part of the cycle.
I guess. It's not like we age out, though.
True, but these people, the older ones in particular, have built up several different ways to keep them hidden from people. That's one thing we always have to do is keep a watchful eye on what the people out there see.
So, if we can make more and we don't, die of old age, how come there aren't like a million of us?
If you noticed how cutthroat we can be with each other, I'm sure you saw a glimpse of it tonight.
I mean, got a little savage once or twice, but not like literally savage.
And you notice that what would we have to eat if it's just nothing but us?
Yeah, I guess.
Sometime anonymity is our greatest strength because we can remain hidden and keep hidden while building up the right influences, the right connections. That's what they tell you. Everyone has their role to play.
And she just sits there thoughtfully, like leaned forward, like elbows on knees, and has her fingers kind of flicking on one hand, just an idle back and forth. Just kind of like a thoughtless gesture as she muses over it. So, does every party get crashed by the mob?
No, she'll smile looking over. Lily is a troublesome thing. Brings a lot of troublesome things with her.
How old
I'm
is
sorry I had to say
she?
that. Very young.
Oh.
Not much older than you. But she didn't have a person like Daisy. Some of us, when we do it, can be quite reckless.
Well, wasn't everyone talking about permission? Like, and being responsible for? And it seems like you can't really just, hit it and quit it, per se.
In a way, but you can hit it and quit it and then pretend to care and then not really be there, if you get me.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, Daisy went on about how she couldn't afford to have me getting her into trouble. And if Lily is always in trouble, wouldn't whoever it is be held responsible or something? It's like having a kid.
If they knew where he was.
Ah, guess you can hit it and skip town, though.
Pretty much. Or sometimes you mightn't be aware it happened.
What?
So you're not even sure what's going on. Sometimes the thrill of a blood can overwhelm somebody.
Uh, on an out of game, how much do people usually remember of the siring process? I assume not much.
Bits
By
and
the time
pieces.
I was gonna say, because by the time you're getting fed, aren't you pretty much done?
Yeah, you just remember ecstasy.
Yeah, she starts kind of like doing that thing where you reach back and rub the back of your neck, kind of awkwardly. So you just so you can do that by accident?
Sometimes it tastes so good, you lose control. You drink a bit too much and you panic and you make a decision which, well, if you haven't got permission, can end up quite bad.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it can often it can often lead to very unfortunate things then for the child.
So is she in trouble? Like just for being an accident?
No, no, no. Lily's in trouble for multiple of different reasons. Probably some that you wouldn't quite understand.
Yeah, probably. Just kind of nods.
But let's just say she gets herself into situations which require us to have to step in.
Well, I mean, when you say I couldn't find a job, so I decided to work for the mob, the sensibility doesn't really seem to be there.
People grow up in different environments. Some people, for example, I can tell you this about me without batting an eyelid. I was always a chemist, but I wasn't exactly the most legal of type.
It kind of turns a side glance.
But when I was embraced, I was making drugs in a lab, in the face. And then I got the opportunity, due to my talent and some well connections, I was appointed into Magadan.
Well, at least there's that.
I had been to college before and I had to drop out due to circumstances.
Like these circumstances?
Something like that, yes. Just smile.
Eyebrow kind of quirks.
But let's just say I managed to drag my way out of the gutter and, well, I live in a nice house.
Oh. I mean, that's
But
good.
everyone, well, that's what you want. Part of you wants everyone to see you, but you always keep that distance from yourself. But it is always nice to have the eyes looking at you in the right way.
Kind of squints a bit. The brow furrows. I guess I can see where you're coming from.
Makes you feel safe in the eye of the storm sometimes.
I mean, surrounded by a storm doesn't feel especially promising.
But in the eye, it's calm. If you've ever watched and heard about storms and hurricanes.
Yeah, I know about hurricanes, but you're surrounded by a wall of, like, death. And they move.
But that's pretty... And that's what it's like here, sometimes being one of us.
Can I just be in the bunker? Like, you know, the family that goes into the cellar? Can I just be that?
Why would you want to when you've already evolved beyond that?
I don't know if this really counts as evolution.
Rebirth, you would call it. Picking yourself back together out of the broken pieces.
She kind of shrugs. I guess.
So you reach over, like, we'll move to take Renee's hand, unless she stops, obviously.
I mean, she looks a little askance, but won't stop her.
You're almost exactly like I was when I was that young.
You realize how weird a thing that is to say, right?
That's exactly what I said.
Fair?
But I can promise you one thing, you don't have to be afraid around me.
Oh, I mean, I hope not. Should I be afraid around everyone else?
Some people you should be, and it's wise of you to be. Some people you can relax with, and others you can always keep the corner of your eye on.
But why would we? I mean, I guess we're people, so.
We're not people anymore.
Well, no, I meant like, why would we bother doing stuff like that? But we still have, like, I'm still me. So I guess if you're an asshole or murderous, you're still an asshole or murderous.
And imagine that with 200 years of experience under your belt.
Yeah. So back to the bunker plan. I'm really liking the idea of cellar doors.
I don't think you should hide in the bunker.
I mean, the bunker seems pretty safe, and if I keep working where I'm working, I'll be fine eating. So
Sounds like you just locked yourself in a cage.
I mean, is it really a cage if you can let yourself out whenever you want?
Can you? That's the question.
I mean,
What did you feel tonight?
But do I want to?
What did you feel tonight when you danced with me?
And her lips kind of firm into a line. It seemed. I don't know. That didn't make any sense.
What?
It just didn't make sense to feel that way.
Maybe it was telling you that you don't need to lock yourself in a cage.
I mean, you gotta be able to forgive me some skepticism when you did, like, I don't even know what you did, but the eyes thing was kind of weird and telling.
I embrace the thrill of it all. Everyone being looking at you in the eye of a hurricane. All the eyes watching you. How could you not feel safe in that? And they can never harm you.
I mean, I'm not big on being watched by bunches of people.
But you
And
felt
just because
safe in
they're
that.
watching doesn't mean they can't hurt you. It just, I don't know. It seems fabricated when you think about it. It's weird.
But you felt it.
Well, yeah, but people feel like they're in love when they're not. People feel a lot of things. It doesn't make it, I don't know, immutable.
But have I made anything that will give you suspicion that would make you feel unsafe?
Well, no, but to be fair, we've known each other like what? A couple hours?
I'll tell you a secret about Lily the first time I met Lily. She'll lean forward, still holding her hand. First time I met Lily, she was a frightened little bee, buzzing around. I held on to her, and she bit into my neck and drank from me.
It was just kind of a nose wrinkling grimace. Do we do that? I mean,
It's not what you should do. It can get you into a lot of trouble.
cannibalism does seem bad in most cultures and societies, you know?
Yes. Stick to feeding from people.
Um, I. Yeah, got it.
Usually pick a preferred type. That's what I always do.
I will. I don't even know how you guys roll.
I think when there's an ST, they roll for you, and then if not, just use Discord, basically. Just use an idle roller in Discord.
Just use a random roller, or.
Yeah, random roller. There's no, use term Discord at the minute.
Alright, then I will just go to. Just for fun and use that.
Yeah, just screen share and shit. That's what we usually do, so we're all like...
Oh, I can do that, yeah. Let me check my shit. Because I don't have this one memorized yet. Not an especially good roll. Let me cover my sheet with this. Actually, I can do an application. Haha! There you go, an ip sub.
Ooh. That made sub though, so that's what?
That is one whole success.
Just for fun. So I'll roll 2D's perception and empathy.
I'll just share yours too because it's easier since I already have it up. That
Two.
is two. Yeah, there's it's like, oh yeah, just feed from people, and there was definitely extra. That wasn't just her evading the subject in general of eating people. It was definitely like she might have been about to say something and then was like, yeah, we do that because we're vampires. Nod nod.
You lean forward, say what you want to say.
I don't want to say anything.
Might as well be honest about it. It's good to actually ask questions about what you need to ask.
It works, so I'm just gonna stick to that.
If you're sure.
I mean, I don't really see a downside.
You just have to be careful how much you take.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a phlebotomy license, certificate, whatever, and I actually work with it. So I just note taking less than I actually do, and that
Should
way
give a
it's
frown.
nothing to disappear. What?
You should just give a frown at her. Oh. Hmm. A bit of advice on that. It tastes horrible.
Yeah.
Drink it right from the source and it tastes just fine.
Yeah, but
It can be awkward, she'll agree.
I mean, it just kind of seems wrong.
Not really.
I mean, the people who are there at the hospital or at the blood drive truck, they're agreeing to give it. I mean, they don't know what I'm doing with it all the time, but they're consenting. And
And sometimes you can meet someone in a nightclub and you go off for a private drink.
I didn't even do that like for its original, live person intention. I don't.
It depends on your preference, but I can recommend that doing it that way, it's risky and the blood doesn't, it tastes horrible. It
I
doesn't leave
mean,
you satisfied.
it sucks, but I'm still moving.
True, but you need to learn how to practice to do it in other ways too. Otherwise, you're not going to be in you're going to be in a situation where you don't have your, well, supplies.
Oh, I'm working on that.
You give a grin.
I mean, it's not like I haven't thought of that. I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine you are.
What, you can't say like nobody's tried this before.
Few people have.
I mean, the Hippocratic Oath. I don't.
The Hippocratic Oath won't matter when you're so hungry that you can feel it inside you screaming in your head that you need to drink.
Well, that is why I don't starve myself. I just find really.
Like I said, what's going to happen when you don't find the things that you need?
I don't know, survival of the fittest? She just kind of shrugs. She finally takes her hand back, not like in a yank kind of way, but just to grab the chains for the swing and kind of lull back.
That's when you need to learn how to take some, but take sparingly. So it doesn't become a scenario where you have a body on your hands.
See, I am not so okay with the idea of accidentally having a body on my hands.
That's why you're going to learn to drink sparingly and control it.
There sounds like there's a margin for error there that's a little broader than I'm okay with.
There is, but
I
with practice, you can perfect it.
And when you mess up in the practice?
Sometimes with the right medical knowledge, you can make it seem like they've gotten sick. If you're smart. And you said you worked as a nurse, so that can be a handy cover.
The one thing I kind of wish this was like the movies on is having just the seething horde of people who are like, yeah, I know exactly what you are, and I'm totes okay with it.
They're the people you give your blood to, and, well, you have to keep them constantly fed on it.
Well, that sounds kind of counterproductive when the whole idea is that they're there to be, I don't know, fed on, not fed. Like, what happened to the whole online thing about, like, blood dolls and stuff? Isn't that a thing? Is there not anyone who knows and is just a fan?
If they did, they'd be dead.
No seething horde of fangirls, huh?
Unfortunately, not. But it could be worse. She'll smile. At least we don't sparkle.
Oh, I don't. I mean, kudos to her for a creative retake on a reason to not go into the sun, but yeah, it's pretty bad when you look at it objectively.
Should not. So are you married?
What? What? I told you I can't even pick up a guy at a club. No.
Just nod.
Like, I can't even make friends stick. There's just too much upkeep and going out, and I need that time to study. So yeah, like I said, Cat still likes me. Haven't lost any friends.
That sometimes is easier because if you are married, sometimes you have to, you know.
What? No. Even if
Sometimes
I was, that's awful.
sometimes you just have to disappear, you know. You should just nod.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, I guess.
You need permission to make one of us.
Yeah, I kind of got that impression.
You see, we're all divided up into several different groups. No?
Yeah. I guess. I mean, I don't really, but I got
For
the
example,
idea.
the group you belong to are called the Gangrel.
Yeah.
I'm what they call a Malkavian.
Right.
Just smirk a bit. I'm assuming Daisy hasn't filled you in on that yet.
No. She gets distracted a lot.
Each different person, each different group has their own tweaks and kinks and weaknesses.
Why do we always have to lead with the weaknesses? This sounds like some Game of Thrones shit.
No, we have things that affect us, part of our condition. But we all have different tools that we use to our advantage.
Okay.
For example, I've seen some of your breed grow bone claws out of their wrists.
Oh, God. Like Wolverine?
Kind of, yes. It's far more terrifying.
Ugh.
That was what gave me the pat her belly.
Oh, yeah, that. Are you... Did you... Are you okay?
Just nod. Completely fine. The blood can do marvelous things. It can make you stronger, faster, more durable, but it all can also heal you.
Like, really? Like, it's just gone.
Like it was new skin.
You had the holes in you, and they're just gone.
We're dead. The corpse restitches itself like it was brand new.
That's pretty fucked up. And doesn't make any sense.
It's probably not supposed to.
Does it weird out your doctor friend at all that you guys just kind of...
He seemed more fascinated than anything.
I mean, it is. I can't say it isn't. I didn't exactly get to see it happen, but it sounds fascinating. but it also sounds like it completely defies everything that I've ever learned about medicine.
Yeah, there's some things you'll understand with medicine, and there's some things that will just make your head spin.
Like, would it be weird of me to say I kind of wish I'd seen it? But,
Not at all, she'll say, smiling.
like,
Why are you interested in seeing? Why would you be interested in seeing like that?
I mean, like, medical curiosity. Like, does it knit from the inside out? Does it just cover over? Does it, like, how does it do the thing? Like, she kind of gestures vaguely in the direction of Trudy's midsection.
She'll smile. Well, then you and Teddy are going to have some fascinating conversation.
I mean, I feel like anyone who was in medical work would be fascinated. It's, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it's weird and it's different. And I have no idea. Like, you said it wouldn't even make a difference if I stitched you back together. You would think it would be, I don't know, easier to pull yourself back together if things were already where they were supposed to be, at least, maybe. Like, we're going on fantasy logic now.
Well, we are technically creatures of myth.
Myth and legend. Oh, what flattering legends.
She'll smile at her. You'll get the hang of it soon.
Guess so.
You're going to have to.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's, there's some definite Darwinism involved here.
Very much so. But as long as you pick the right friends, then you will be a lot safer. Friends mean everything in this life.
Sorry, Bob just came in and saw your face came on the screen and started making faces. I'm sorry, can you repeat that last bit? I got distracted by Bob's outrageous faces.
She'll say, she'll just say friends mean everything in this life, usually.
I mean, I guess so. With overpopulation, what it is, I guess you don't have to worry about shortages. But like, how? Okay, I promise this is kind of a statistics thing I'm asking. But like, what is our most common cause of death? How do we die? Like, obviously, I know not to go out in the sun. I've had Panacea wake me up a couple times. I don't. Yeah, I got that one. But like, short of that and starving, how do we die?
I nearly died from that.
Yeah, but what you said it was someone like me.
Yeah. I've killed our kind with bullets, knives, my teeth. She like smirking, you see the hint of a fang.
Why?
If we had to fight a war.
Why are we warring?
Different. That's. She actually will kind of sit up a bit. That is long and complicated, but essentially, the way I can explain it is that the group you belong to and that you are embraced into, like mine and like all the people you met tonight, are belong to one organization called the Camarilla. There are others, organizations which believe that we should completely abandon humanity. and take what we want when we need it. And it doesn't matter who gets in what way. Depravity.
Wouldn't they still have issues? Like, I feel like there would be kickback if people were just disappearing all the time.
Not among if they were homeless or nobody cared.
Ugh. Okay.
And normally they're not alive enough to see. So, a while ago there was riots. That's how they came here first. They burned places and killed many of us. We all had to fight in a war. Not too long ago in New York, we had to go up there and assist there too.
So our leading cause of death is each other, pretty much.
Each other or ourselves.
Ourselves.
We can all do stupid things which can get us killed.
Well, I mean, any living thing can do stupid things and just shuffle themselves out of the gene pool.
True. She'll smirk a bit. Just concentrate on finding your feet first before you need to think about that.
I mean, it seems kind of important if we're murdering each other and you keep saying friends are important, and Daisy's like, no, go make friends for real, though. It seems like there's sides and wars and murder, and she just kind of finally like slumps down and puts her face in her hands, like not in despair or anything, just overwhelmed, essentially.
We'll again get up off the swing and walk over. Probably leaning against her one against like the railing. Again, very motherly. Don't be thinking too much about war and all that. Think about how much you're going to learn in the next month. Test your theories and test them carefully. Find ways to adapt first before you start thinking of anything else.
Well, I mean, is anyone here trying to kill each other? Are there sides I need to know about?
There, of course, like anything, like any workplace, there are different cliques. And there's death everywhere. There is currently that group poking around the city. But that's what I'm here for. And Joan.
Yeah. What they call you, hounds? That seems kind of
Hounds. We answer to.
derogatory.
Not really. Hounds of justice, if you get the meaning.
Well, I mean, I guess.
We answer to the sheriff of the city.
Who's the sheriff?
She is Joan's sire.
Ah.
She's a good woman. Strict, but good. She'll smile. And the prince rules over us all for this city.
Like just this one city?
Usually, yes. Usually princes rule over just one, from what I remember here.
Ah. Okay. Is it that hardcore monarchy style prince? Like,
He's a bit on the old-fashioned side, yes. The old one wasn't, but he died during the war. And when he took over from the pro tempore prince, who's like a temporary thing, he's very much an old-fashioned thing. So when you do come to court, and court will be called eventually, wear something old-timey, very ballroom-esque.
Like what kind of era?
Medieval era.
She kind of narrows her, like, knits her brow a bit thoughtfully. Is he that old?
She's not.
Where, though? Like, where was he from? Like,
Europe, from what I understand, England originally.
England. Okay.
Very much. He's old-fashioned, so he will refer to you as the lady of the court.
Seems a little high up for a newbie.
Think about how medieval women were treated.
I have to go do some research.
Let's just say it's a version of that. He doesn't like the fact that most of the hounds are women. Not because he doesn't think women are capable, it's just he's from a time when it was not done. So you play along.
I mean, sounds easy enough, and at least it's not because he thinks that we're just weak and wafy. Though I am definitely weak and wafy. I'm okay with that. But, like, the idea that it's a cultural thing and not an inability to understand what you're capable of at least seems kind of promising.
He respects those who put themselves forward for service, man or woman.
Right.
So just play it carefully.
I mean, I would like to not, well, die again, I guess. But, at least obtaining my original lifespan would be nice.
Smile. It's a workable goal.
Like, doesn't that freak you out, though?
It used to.
Like, the
But
idea that it could be literally forever, like centuries. What do
it,
you even
it, it,
do?
it used to, but it doesn't anymore.
Why?
Because we're all just trying to repair ourselves like shards in a broken glass. And she will reach over, again, took one of Renee's locks out of her face just ever so slightly. It's just perfect.
I mean, she's not especially buying into the gesture, but she doesn't seem especially fussed. This just seems to be how she acts, and there's really no benefit to pointing it out.
Just smile. Once you learn to understand and feel the pulse of it all around you, and you feel it all, give in to and accept the death and rebirth of emotions in a different understanding, in a different light, then you don't really think about how long it's going to be. You just are there.
I guess. Jeez, it's almost as bad as, like, I don't. Okay, that's stupid. Never mind. Wow. So live in the moment, huh?
Sort of. Live in the moment, but make sure that the moment is in your control. So when everyone's looking at you, you have complete control over the room. And again, locked ever
You're,
so slightly. Just perfect.
you are. I mean, it's cool if you like being the center of attention, but that's really not my thing.
Listen, man, I don't mean about being the center of attention. You can command a room in far different ways. To know a room and who's in there and what they're doing and to know things about people. It speaks volumes about how intelligent you are and how perceptive you are. You don't have to just be the center of attention to know everything in a room, Renee.
That just sounds really creepy. And we're back to Game of Thrones.
Sometimes you have to think like that. Don't you as a nurse have to know your patients?
Well, yeah, of course, but that's
Treat
because I'm helping them.
and treat it like that. Know your patients, know their symptoms, know their habits.
And then do what with it? I mean,
Store it, use it, don't use it. Do whatever you want with it, but experiment. That's how you manage in your first few months.
I used to think it would sound crazy that I talked to my cat, but all told, it's definitely not the craziest thing going on.
She'll twitch slightly. You'll see her turn her head slowly, very slowly, and she'll stare across the playground. Do you hear that?
She does she kind of blinks and turns a glance in the same direction. Like obviously doing that pause, like in her case it's not like she has to breathe in the first place, but you get the impression she would be holding her breath just to keep it from clouding her ears. But after a couple seconds pause, she just kind of goes, "No."
She'll nod again. May I? She'll hold out her hand towards Renee.
Like as it like palm up, like asking for a hand, or
Yeah.
there's kind of a blink and a shrug, and she'll offer up her hand.
Notice when she takes her hand in yours, she traces her fingertips along her palm, right along the wrist. Her hand seems to just close very gently along the wrist, and she just smiles.
What?
It's just the wind.
You okay?
Of course. She'll smile again. Just the wind.
And
I
what
mean, there's
exactly did she do? Just
traced up along her palm with her fingers, and then when it came down to her wrist, she closed her hand around Renee's wrist for just 30 seconds and then let go again.
oh, she just kind of accepts it with a shrug. It is definitely not the weirdest thing she's done.
She'll smile. Can you eat food yet? Have you discovered that?
That ended in tragedy and
Oh, you're like
really,
me. She'll smile.
really big bag of garbage when I had to empty my fridge.
Yeah, you're like me. Unfortunately, then Delarus will probably be the only one eating when we invite you for dinner.
Dinner?
He likes dinner.
We can, like, anyone can do that?
Some of us can have the luxury of being able to eat and drink, but they'll always regurgitate it later.
I guess if it makes him happy.
Different ways to feel human.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I don't know what I would do. Like, I know I sound like a crazy cat lady, but like he's what I've got. So, yeah, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have him.
We all have
So
our
if
thing.
smoking and eating help, I guess it helps.
We all have the little bits of memory we like to keep certain things. Should again, this time almost touch and just lightly just pluck a tiny strand out of Renee's hair.
That one, that'll startle her a little bit. Like, not into like any hostile action. She just kind of, snaps a hand up to her head, like, ow.
Sorry. Sorry. But it's like strands. She'd like hold the hair up, staring at it. Each strand is different, and each person, each kindred is different. What methods and madness they all have.
I mean, I guess we're all different people. Doesn't seem like that complex an idea.
And whatever group we're embraced into, that always has an impact.
Guess it would.
More than you realize.
Probably. I don't realize a lot yet.
That's probably Daisy's place to tell you. But when she does mention us, the Markavians, you can come and ask me.
I mean, wouldn't it be more fair to have you tell me about yourself than to ask someone else?
She'll touch again Daisy's, no, not Daisy, fuck, Renee's cheek with her hand. Malkavians, we all are given a gift and a curse.
Remind me, does she have Blush of Health? Is she even like a little warm?
Nope, Tootie's ice cold.
Wow. So yeah, that makes the cheek brush not nearly so heartening as it could be.
I mean, there's a lot of affection behind it, but she's ice cold.
Well, yeah, but they're not on the same wavelength on that yet. So it goes from being like, oh, that is sweet, I guess, to being like, that's really creepy.
We're given a gift and a curse. Each one of us is different. Each shard different. That curse and shard is often twisted and broken and beautiful. And sometimes it brings us great joy, and then sometimes it brings us great sorrow. For we are the broken mirrors, the insane.
Her eyebrow just slowly quirks.
Malkavians are known in many other places and here for our madness.
Okay.
But we're not crazy. Just smile.
She kind of tilts her head like, buh.
We just each have our own struggles to deal with. And then we each get a gift from it.
Like what?
Just smile. It depends. Depends on the Malkavian.
I mean, are we talking like textbook stuff I'd see in a psych ward or something that's like way worse.
It
And
depends on the Malkavian. Depends on the person. And it depends on the hour. Depends on many different things of what you'll see.
okay.
It's nothing to be afraid of.
I mean, there's been a lot of weirdness, but nothing hostile yet.
Why would
So
I harm a child?
I guess that kind of like that fleeting stubborn face. Because she
In
gets the idea that in this world she's essentially a child, but she's still like, I'm a goddamn adult.
Why would I harm one of the lost children?
I don't know.
Exactly. I told you before. You've nothing to fear from me. I'd only want to be your friend.
I mean, is this something that comes with like weird implications I don't know about? Or is it just being friends?
It's whatever you want it to be. I'm happy to be your friend and to give you advice. If you wish to ask questions, I'm happy to answer. The last few of your people I talked to, they said I belonged in a straitjacket.
I mean, you've done some weird shit tonight, but so has everyone else.
Just smile. Right answer. I'm just saying that I am more than happy to help a young neonate learn the ropes like many of us did. My sire died when I was very young, so I had to learn a lot on my own.
I mean, I appreciate it.
Just smile. I'm sorry if I come across as awkward.
I mean, I'm pretty awkward, and pretty much everyone I met tonight was really awkward in one way or another. So, I mean, your flavor of awkward isn't especially awful.
It's just been too loud. When I had the touch her belly, I had to sit still. It was too loud.
And her lips quirk a bit to one side thoughtfully, but not especially judgmentally.
So now that everything's better, it's almost getting used to re-altering oneself again. You can relate, can't you? So much information coming into your head at once. She'll smile.
I mean, I would say I've learned a lot of new words tonight, but I don't actually know what half of them mean, so I'm pretty sure they don't count as learned yet.
She'll smile again, and then she'll turn and look over her shoulder, staring off at something. A very far away look in her deep blue eyes. And she'll look back over. I should go.
like the wind again, or?
It's just probably better.
Okay, if you say so.
You just smile. Besides, I can't take up all your time tonight.
I mean, I really didn't have plans. Besides that whole thing that Daisy brought me to.
Hmm.
So,
Well, I'm going to let your mind rest for a bit then.
yeah.
You can call me anytime.
All right.
Just smile.
Oh, I should set a reminder or something. It's when do you want to do this dinner thing?
We'll call you.
Okay.
Wear something nice. You grin.
There's
We
kind
do.
of a helpless shrug.
We do like the nightlife.
Like out and about nightlife?
Delores likes his dinners. I like the nightclubs.
Fair enough.
I'll make sure he knows all about your medical training. If he does not, he'd be most happy.
And she finally relaxes a bit. Kind of looks just generally pleased. Be nice to have someone to have a conversation with that stayed normal the whole time, or most of the time.
I mean, I could talk to you about psychotropic drugs and all that, but I might go over your head a bit, the chemical breaking down of them all.
I mean, I know most of, the usual pharmaceutical stuff, but uh only the you know I mean, I'm familiar with the other stuff. I just it wasn't ever really a thing I got into. I know how to catch the symptoms, I know what to test for, but
In
yeah.
terms in terms of actually making it, you're as blind as a bat.
I mean, I don't make any of it. I don't know that I could make even the normal standard stuff. That's just I mean, that's all you.
She just smile. Yeah, that's me.
It's neat though.
My dad was a pharmacist.
Huh.
You should just give a nod and a hand squeeze. Well, I'll better be getting home.
Yeah. Yeah, I should do that too.
Smiles. Where are you staying?
I mean, my apartment.
Where?
Katie hasn't looked at the map and figured out where the fuck that is. So insert vague area here.
Judy have a bit of a grin on her face when you say that.
What?
Nothing.
What is it weird?
No.
What?
She'll lean in. This one's for free. Never tell anybody where you live.
I mean, I didn't give you an address.
You gave me enough to find you.
Well, yeah, but didn't we establish the friends thing? Like,
I'm just giving you advice, she'll say teasingly.
so treat everyone like an internet stalker. Got it.
It's what I had to do.
I mean, what are they gonna do? I mean, unless they're planning to assault in the middle of the night, we all sleep.
Some of us get up quicker than others do. She says she's walking off.
Ugh. Always comes back around to what sounds suspiciously like murder. Well, heave up out of the swing.
And yeah, that's probably the perfect place to end up.
Yeah, so they will part ways. With Renee somehow, for all the reassurance, no more reassured that this isn't all about some Game of Thrones shit, quote, end quote. We will close the scene. So thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We will see you next time in New Serum.